The webinar will highlight opportunities and challenges in the sector. We'll hear expert insights from Dr. Anasia Maleko and reflections from two young people who are actively engaged and involved in this value chain. The session is designed to empower and inspire young people, build networks, and open up conversations and innovation, mentorship and entrepreneurship opportunities within the agri-food systems. Is Dr. Maleko in now? Dr. Maleko, are you in the room? Are you in the call now?
Let me call her again. I think she's struggling to log in. Let me just call her.
In the meantime, please introduce yourself in the chat where you're hearing us from, and any one word that comes into your mind when you hear the word spices or herbs. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Dr. James Nkwabi. I'm from Tanzania. Actually, I'm working under the Minister of Agriculture and the Department of Research and Innovation, Tanzania Agriculture Research Institute. I'm located in Mwanza, Lake Zone. So I'm economist by the professional. So once I see this topic, so I was so interested. That's why I decided to join and to hear what is going on in this conversation.
Thank you very much. But please post in the chat box instead of speaking. Post in the chat box, please. Thank you. We'll start in about 3 minutes. We just want to have the speaker in. She's struggling to join in. Thank you. Dr. Maleko is here. Welcome back. Would like then to invite Dr. Maleko to introduce herself and to start sharing with us what she has brought for us. Thank you. Kanto, would you please unmute Dr. Anasia Maleko? Yes, she can go ahead. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see you.
Yes? Do you hear me, Rachel?
Yes, we can hear you and we can also see you.
Okay, good morning from Moshi. My name is Dr. Nasia Maleko, Tanzanian. I'm an agricultural economist and food marketing expert. I work as a consultant, a freelancing, and an associate researcher for different organizations here in Tanzania, in EAC and Africa, and I'm actually a CADAP expert for SADC. I assist countries in SADC, and also, I do number of activities in the CADAP at AU, especially commitment number 5 that is very involved in agricultural trade for the continental trade. Today, I'm here with you to share about information on food system and the spices industry and the opportunities that are there for the youth to explore. So I welcome everyone who is here. And Rachel, let me know if I can share my screen now. Thank you. Yes, Rachel. Hello.
Hi. We can't see your screen yet.
Yes, I wanted you to let me know if I can share.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. It looks like it's coming, but not yet. Yes, we can see your
Okay.
screen now.
You can see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
So I'm going to talk about the spices industry. I'll start with this very small part of introduction, then I'll take you through the spices production and its contribution to Tanzanian economy challenges and the growing demand of spices and the opportunities that are there in spices industry for the youth to explore. So what we mean when we say the food system and spices industry, we mean that it involves all the entire food production, aggregation and distribution, consumption, and waste disposal. Spices go through all these processes. We do produce spices. We have people who conduct aggregation and distribution of spices. And most of us, we consume spices either in prepared meals or in a drink. And we also add value to spices for nutritional purposes. To many of African countries, spices is one among the value chains that is underscored, but it is a very good opportunity where youth and other people can explore for economic development. Spices is one of the mostly globally marketed value chains in agriculture, and it has significant supply chain in the world. Spices are geographically concentrated. They don't grow anywhere, but they are distributed in geographical distribution where they grow well and prosper in those geographical indications. And many of the high-value spices like vanilla, clove, nutmeg, black pepper, and cardamom are grown in tropical regions like ours in Africa, especially like sub-Saharan Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, etc. These spices create opportunities, but also it's an industry that is vulnerable due to climate dependence because of the geographical location and the market fluctuations. When the prices of the world market spices fluctuates, it also affects the growing regions of the spices. When we talk to high-valued spices like vanilla, Madagascar is known to be a very high-producing country for vanilla, but it recently, as they have suffered the price fluctuation due to the production of synthetic vanillas that made the prices of vanilla to be low. But also in Tanzania, we produce, even other countries in Africa produce vanilla. Indonesia and Grenada are key producers of nutmeg. Tanzania is the second producer of clove after Indonesia in the world market. When we say production of spices, spices are vulnerable, but they are also labor-intensive cultivating crops. Many spices requires careful and sensitive hands-on labor, like vanilla. To make vanilla produce, you need to be hand-on pollinated. So, and it is time sensitive. Most of vanilla to be well pollinated, it needs to be pollinated manually from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Other than that, you lose all the flowers and you won't produce any vanilla anymore. Due to that, it is also a source of employment, and most of the people who are employed in vanilla pollinating activities are women and youth. Spices are also climate vulnerable. They require specific climates, specific temperatures, and they are very prone to drought. So when you're growing spices, you need to observe the climate changes in your region, especially the parting, as you can cause massive loss, and you can face the volatility of price in the global market. Prices, as I've said, spices are also in the part of the value chain development nodes. Processing and value addition to spices in 2 stages. You can have primary processing and secondary processing. Primary processing, it starts from drying. When you're drying spices, you need to be sensitive. It requires specific drying, like a solar dryer, a cool drying, so that they won't lose their quality and their aromatic nature. Then the spices need curing, they need sorting, and these activities happen in a different country, but it takes place in the country of origin. You cannot harvest vanilla and dry it somewhere else. You dry it in where you produced this vanilla, on the specific area where you have produced. So they are very geographical indicative, these stages, especially the primary stage. The secondary stage goes to grinding, blending, packaging, which you can do it anywhere. You can buy, dried cardamom, you can buy dried cinnamon, dried black pepper, and blend it anywhere you go. But when you're doing the second processing, you have to indicate the origin of the spices that you have bought from, either it's from Tanzania, India, or anywhere in the world. You should indicate that. Also, spices are subjected to distribution and trade. When you're trading spices, it requires, you need to have the geographical indication, as I just said, that the history where you have bought the spices, if it's the country of origin or is somewhere else. And also these spices, due to the historical nature of them, they indicate the driving forces of exploration, colonialism, and the global trade market routes. For us Tanzanians, they can remember those days of slavery where the spices like cloves and black pepper were used in slavery market during the colonial era. But also in the global market, spices are traded as a commodity in the international market, and also as a recent years, as we remember during the COVID, the spices were used so much due to their health benefit on the pandemic, especially the antioxidant properties of the spices were so useful on that occasion. Spices, due to their high valued crop, they are subjected to authenticity and fraud. That's why I said that when we talk about geographical indication is very important, because you have to indicate the country of origin of where you got the spices, but also they can be subjected to fraud. That means you need to mark the color of your spices, the origin of your spices, which if it is of low quality, if it is of high quality, to avoid the issues of fraud, and to be authentic on where you got the spices and their origin. Spices have got the power of intermediate traders. Even in a normal production, we have aggregators who act between the farmers and the traders and processors. So these intermediary traders, they aggregate the crop and then sell it to different people, and they have they have an impact in the sector, as they affect a lot on issues of export and the distribution of the spices and the earnings of those who are producing spices, especially the smallholder farmers. Spices consumption and nutrition. I do hope everyone understands now the benefit of spices and their consumption. They can be consumed in food. They can be used in preservation. Some of the spices, we use them for preservation, like spice like salt, pepper, cinnamon, and clove are critical for preserving meat. Once you season your food like meat or other perishables, when you use spices, they inhibit growth of bacteria and fungi. Also, the spices, as I've said, they are used in consumed food. When you season your food, it makes your food palatable and enjoyable. So you can use spices at different stages of your food preparation, from drinking to eating a food as a meal. Nutritional and health benefits of spices, as I've indicated here in these slides. You can see some spices like black pepper can help you to increase the bioavailability of nutrients in other foods. So when you use black pepper in food, let's say meat, when you use black pepper, it makes you to be able to get the nutrients that comes from the food you're eating, especially the extraction of the protein that you're eating well. Spices have medicinal properties, like turmeric is anti-inflammatory, ginger aids digestion, garlic has antibacterial properties, and chili pepper can boost your metabolism. Spices can reduce salt and sugar in your body if you strategically use them, especially when you need excessive salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats in cooking. The spices will contribute to better cardiovascular and metabolic health. Spices also help us in waste disposal. when you use preservation, it helps you to reduce the amount of the food you waste. So when you use spices to preserve food, it helps you to extend shelf life of the foods, especially the perishables. And also you can use byproducts of the spices in the processing of other products like husks, stems, and residues after extraction of the oil. So this is area where there is a lot of interest, where people use the natural antioxidants and food additives, or even biofuel, contributing to more circular economy with the food systems. In a summary here, you can see like economic importance of the spices, which spices are more into health benefits, like cinnamon can lower your blood sugar, peppermint can reduce nausea, turmeric can help you to lower your anti-inflammatory effects. Basil helps in fighting infections and boost your immune. Ginger can help you to nausea and anti-inflammatory properties. Rosemary also can help you prevent allergies. Garlic can combat sicknesses and improve your heart health. To Tanzanians, spices is one of the subsector in the horticulture, which has been fastest growing in over recent years, and it is significantly being favored by climatic conditions and the fertile soils that we have. As you remember, Tanzania has almost 7 agroecological zones, and each ecological zone favors a different kind of spices and a different kind of crops. So we had a broad coverage of areas where we can grow spices. Tanzania produce high quality of spices such as cloves that grows in Zanzibar, and nowadays it grows in Morogoro. Black pepper grows in Morogoro, Tanga, and Kilimanjaro. Cardamom grows in South Highlands, including Iringa and Mbeya. Cinnamon is mainly done in Zanzibar, Pemba, including Morogoro. And vanilla is being grown in Kagera, Kilimanjaro, and Morogoro. This is the production trends for these kind of spices in Tanzania. You can see we have clove, ginger, black pepper, cinnamon, vanilla, cardamom, coriander, garlic, and hot pepper. Ginger has been leading in all other spices that we are producing in Tanzania. For economic importance, Tanzania earns about $50 to $100 million annually from spices. And Tanzania is the second largest producer of clove after Indonesia, and it contributes to 80% of the cloves that is exported. Spices in Tanzania has direct and indirect employment to thousands of smallholder farmers, traders, and processors. And the main regions are in Zanzibar, which include Pemba and Unguja, Morogoro, Tanga, and Kagera. And for these regions, the spices are the main primary source of income for rural households. In Tanzania, we produce different products of spices after processing. After the primary processing, we have tea masala, we have pilau masala, we have mchuzi masala, and we have specific masala, like you can have ginger, it's a ginger powder or ginger, processed the ginger itself. You can have garlic itself, you can have garlic powder. So there is various products that are produced by spices here in Tanzania with different stakeholders, women, youth, men. They also do spices processing and production. Other products that you can get from spices are essential oils. We can have pumpkin oils that is mixed with vanilla. You can have essential oils like sunflower oil mixed with rosemary. You can have coconut oil with other essential products from spices like vanilla or rosemary or turmeric. And then you can have other products that you can have from spices. You can have mulled wine, the wines that are mostly used during the cold, that you mix stannies and a boiled wine with stannies, cinnamon, and lemon. Also, spices includes herbs. You can have drinks, a lemon with the rosemary or a lemon with mint. For most of the people use them for like antioxidants and detox in the morning. They are very good for healthy drinks in the morning for people who like to detox their body before they do anything or they get other meals during the day. In this section, I end up here, then we can have some discussions, and then we will continue on other parts of the presentation as we move. Thank you for listening. Can I stop sharing?
Yes, you can stop sharing, but we'll call you back. Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation and the wonderful insights. At this point, I would like to call upon the two youth that are engaged in this value chain to share with us their experiences, the profits, and things like that. Over to you. You are muted. I think you're muted. We can't hear you.
Is Fatuma around?
I think Fatuma Mbanga is here.
Yeah, she can share us with her experience on spices. And then after Fatuma, we can have DMK spices and Mkami.
Fatuma, the floor is yours.
Then I can mute myself, right?
Yes. Yes, please. Fatuma Mbanga. Hello, Fatuma Mbanga. Are you in the room? Are you in the chat? Hey, sorry. Are you in the room?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, please. Okay, the floor is yours.
Okay, my name is Fatuma Mbaga. I'm a co-founder of Get Aroma Spices based in Tanzania. We are dealing with the value addition of food spices, and we have in Tanzania we're based in Morogoro and Mbeya. In Morogoro, we started the business 2018, and I started the business with the one staff, and up to now we have 15 staff as full-time and 45 staff during production. Spices business. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. We can see you. Yes, please go ahead.
So we are buying our raw materials from 5 regions in Tanzania, and almost 80% we buy from farmers, and 20% are from we are buying from outside the country. We have Morogoro, Iringa, Mbeya, Tanga, and Singida. and Singida. All of those are source of our raw materials, and we are selling our spices from. We are based on a wholesale, and most of our customers are supermarket caterers and hotels, wholesalers, and we export little bits in 5 countries. German, we have Ghana, we have USA, Kenya, and UK. So when I say about spice business, it's a good business, and sometimes it's hard during off season, but if you have a high capital during season, most of time the profit you get the half. And the opportunity in spice business is that most of people today change their lifestyle. People want to eat natural foods, natural drinks for the healthier benefits. So the market is there, but still the quantity and quality available in our countries still is not meet the market demand. But the market demand is high, but quantity and quality available in our country still it's low to meet the market demand. So that is a short story of spice business.
Thank you very much. Just be on standby for questions. There could be some questions for you. Can we have the other youth group? Did you say Get Spices? If you are in the room, please, the floor is yours. Dr. Marciano, what's the name of the other spice producing youth group?
Hello?
Yes. Yes, hello?
Yeah, I'm Dominic. I think you mentioned me in the second list. I'm Dominic from DMK Africa Company. Sorry, can you hear me?
Hear you very well. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm Dominic from DMK Africa Company. We are located in Mbeya. We are also doing spice business. And we started our spice journey from 2019. And we started as tea masala, the liquid tea masala provider. Like we were cooking tea, preparing tea, and distributing to the street, to different people. We started to sell it, and after a while, we discovered that people like our tea. It was just a natural tea, like a liquid tea, instant tea. So from there, we had an idea that perhaps we can make product like people they can make for themselves. It's there where we started preparing making the strategy on how we can do the business, and we made our first product, which it was called Chai Africa masala tea. it took us like 8 months to come with the formula, and for sure, still today it is one of our best formula teams that Chai Africa. So the journey of spice business, it was not easy, but it is a good business, as the previous speaker said. It is a very good business. The challenges are to get the quality product, because most of farmers, that post-harvesting process, they lack that education of post-harvesting process. So you can find that you are getting raw material, but you need to sort them, you need to inject a lot of things. You can buy like 20 kilo of let's say cardamom, and after sorting, you lose like 2 or 3 kilos. But the other thing is currently we are facing a high demand of external traders. More people from other countries, they're coming to take the products like raw material. So the price is going higher, not like the years we started 2019. Now you can find, like, we used to buy cardamom per kilo, like 10,000 per kilo, Tanzanian shillings. But now it is ranging from 35,000, maybe sometimes off season it goes up to 40. So the price, the raw material, it's high, so it means that sometimes the profit goes down. But also, as the doctor was presented, awareness. Most of people, they see maybe these things of spices for Indians, but the good thing is awareness is going high, and people, nowadays people, they are consuming spices. So we started like with five staff, people who they can help us in production, but this time we have 20. Some of them are full-time and some of them are part-time. Where the demand is high, we increase staff. Where demand is low, those part-time, we reduce them. But concerning the inlet and the outlet, currently we can produce and sell per month up to 100 carton of tea and other products, because in the journey we came up with pilau masala, that brown rice, the spices which cause the rice to be brown, and we came up with the curry powder. Curry powder, it is the sauce just to make the sauce or stew. And we have single spices like ginger and the cardamom, cinnamon, just like that. So we are facing different challenges, but concerning spice business, I can say, as from my observation, the ground is still virgin, because there's raw material and there is customers. And even when we are taking this product to the rural areas, people nowadays, they use tea masala to the rural areas. People, they use it is still not only a business which is conducted in town. No. You can go even to the rural area, to small shops. Here in Tanzania, we call mangi shops. Those small shops, they can buy tea masala, pilau masala. And the other thing we discover that when you, because we have like the package of 100 grams, but when you lower the grams, like 10 grams, you pack in the small sachet. Those small shapes they can afford, and normal people, they can also buy them. So spice business, it is a good business, and it's a booming business. So I think with time, these challenges, as I identified them, of quality raw material and other stuff concern, I think these challenges will be solved, because most of people, they are taking this training to the farmers concerning post-harvesting process and other stuff. No, as per time, I can say that perhaps in the question session we can still have something to talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those insights. I would like now to call upon the last youth group to share their experiences, and then we'll open the floor for questions and answers. Of course, I see there are some questions in the chat, but we'll just have the final youth group and then open the floor for questions and answers.
Yes, Rachel. Mkami is going to speak in Swahili, and I'll assist in translating.
Okay.
So
all right.
once she finishes speaking, then I will do the translation.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome, Mkami.
Is she here? Hello?
Halo,
Okay. Yes.
kwa majina naitwa Mkami Yusuf Tetele. Ni mkurugenzi wa kampuni ya Mkami Tea Limited tunaojihusisha na usindikaji wa viungo vya pilau, tea masala, tangawizi, hiriki, mdalasini, pilipili manga, kitunguu saumu, mchaichai pamoja na binzari manjano. Lakini pia Mkami Product tunajihusisha na ununuzi wa karanga na soko letu kubwa kwenye karanga lipo Kenya. Mkami Product tulianza mwaka 2021.
Anasia, perhaps you can share the translation because it doesn't look like.
Okay. Yes, Mkami, you can continue after I've done the translation for the first part you've done. Mkami.
Anasia, you're muted.
No, I'm not muted.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. So I
What
was
she
saying
just
that. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Her name is Mkami Yusuf. She's from Mbeya, Kyela. She does spices production. She has different products for spices. She has pilau masala, tea masala, and she has specific products like processed ginger, processed garlic, processed turmeric, processed cinnamon, and cardamoms. She does other activities. What she just said, she also buy groundnuts and sells, but today we are concentrating on spices. Then we can leave aside the groundnuts. We deal with the spices. She's based in there, and she has a registered company as Mkami Products. Then that is what she just presented, and then she can continue. Mkami, you can continue without even screen, without video. Just present what you have, and then during the discussion or when we have time, you can switch on your video, and then we can see you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Mkami Product tulianza mwaka 2021 na mpaka sasa nimefanikiwa kuweza kuajiri vijana 8, lakini pia nina vibarua 12 na tunafanya kazi katika na wakulima katika mkoa wa Tanga, Morogoro, Mbeya, Iringa ambao na kwa mwaka huu hapo mwaka 2025 nimeweza kupata mteja wa India ambao unasafirisha hiliki nasafirisha hiliki kutokea Tanzania kwenda India, ambao nimeingia nao mkataba wa tani 40 na mpaka sasa nimeshapeleka tani 28.
Dr. Maleko, maybe you can translate what she said there. Dr. Maleko, we can't hear you.
Okay, she said the Mkami products started in 2021. And when they started, they hired 8 permanent employees, youth, and casual laborers 12. And they operate in Tanga, Mbeya, Morogoro, and Iringa. And she does also aggregation of spices. And this year she managed to have a export deal with a company in India. And the export value in volume is 40 tons, and she has already managed to export 28 tons of the cardamom. You can continue, Mkami.
Okay. Kwa bidhaa zetu za Mkami Product kwa hapa Tanzania tumeweza kupeleka mkoa wa Mbeya, Iringa, Njombe, Dodoma, mkoa wa Songwe pamoja na Arusha. Kwa hiyo tuna mpango wa kuweza kuongeza mikoa mingine, lakini kuna baadhi ya mikoa ambayo bado hatujafika kwenye wilaya zake. Kupitia hii biashara ya usindikaji imeweza kunisaidia mimi kuweza kukutana na watu mbalimbali, lakini pia na kuweza kuwapa kwamba kwa saizi kuna baadhi ya vikundi ambavyo vipo Tukuyu vya wakulima zalisha, mimi naenda kuchukua kwao, nufaika na basi sisi tuliweza kuwasaidia kuwapa mbegu pamoja na mbolea. Kwa hiyo na wiki hapa nadhani siku ya Jumamosi tutaingia kwenda kuvuna, tutaenda kuvuna eka 10. Kwenye hiyo eka 10 tayari tulishatoa hela karibia kama 60% hivi ambazo tayari tulikuwa tumeshawapa kuanzia mwanzo. Kwa hiyo kupitia hicho nadhani pia kuna watu ambao wanajivunia sisi kwamba kuna sehemu ambako wanafanya biashara zao wanalima, lakini kuna sehemu ambako wanaleta bidhaa zao. Asante.
Okay, thank you, Mkami. What she just said that she works with the farmers and her product already distributed in Mbeya, Njombe, Iringa, Dodoma, Songwe, and Arusha, and they're trying to have more market in other regions in Tanzania. The spices processing has managed to give her networks that she sells her products, And also as Mkami products, they work with the farmers in groups, and then they have agreements with the farmers, and they supply them with the seeds and fertilizers, and then they buy the spices from them. This week, she said that they have managed to harvest 10 acres of spices, and they have paid 60% of the payment to farmers. You can continue, Mkami. Or you finished?
Asante.
You're done?
Ndiyo, nimemaliza.
Okay, that is all from her.
All right, thank you very much. There are some questions in the chat. Maybe we should start with those ones and then we'll open to those that want to ask the speakers directly.
Okay.
There is a question on what does the processor has to do with to control the poor quality of the raw materials when they receive it. What do the processors do to control the poor quality of the raw materials when they receive them? That's question number one. Number two, coming from the same person, is do they work with farmers to control the quality at farm level? Then there is Stephen Carr. He has a couple of questions. How has the first business managed to export to UK? He's asking from, I think, from Fatma, the one who exports to UK, German. He is asking him, how has the first business managed to export to UK, knowing the challenges of meeting food regulations? Do you export directly or do you work through intermediary agents? To all entrepreneurs, has the establishment of the African Continental Free Trade Area made any difference to your business and the markets and the customers that you can access? I think we should go through these questions and then we'll go to the next batch of questions. Dr. Malego, maybe you can start with the first few questions in related to quality issues.
Yeah, yes, I can do the two questions, and I think the Dominic will add up as well. Quality control. Quality control for spices is somehow very difficult because due to the price fluctuations, sometimes farmers, harvest their spices before time when they hear the prices in the market are very high. This is one of the issues that affect the quality of spices, especially for something like cardamom or black pepper. When you harvest them before they ripe, you interfere with the quality. You won't get the exactly aromatic part of the spices that you need. So when processors, at times processors get lost because after you've bought your spices and then you want to process them, and if it is of a wrong quality, that means it's upon you. But majority of the processors, they do sort out the spices, as you can is what Dominic says, that you can buy spices and then find out of it that half of it is not of good quality, you waste it. So, some of the people work with farmers to control quality, especially on contractual arrangement that you farm, then I come and buy the spices from you. But majority of the people who are doing spices, they just source the spices from the intermediaries, we call them the aggregators, the middlemen, and actually the middlemen are also, they are good on one way, on another way they are not that good in the spices industry, is they want to maximize the profit from what they buy from farmers. So they interfere with the quality of the spices as well, especially for something like cinnamon. It's very easy to mix tree barks with the cinnamon. And when you process it, it's very difficult to differentiate the real cinnamon because you get the spice part of it, but it won't be of high quality as if it is purely cinnamon without any, fraud, mischief conducted on it. And the other things that we think is to me, what I advise for the spices to manage to control the quality of spices is to have clusters, producers have the investment on the primary processing, which is very critical for spices to maintain their qualities. When you control the environment of drying and sorting the spices, then in the end, you get the pure quality of spices that you're going to process and export. For any business in the spices, it starts from, the initial processing, which is mostly drying. Then Dominic, you can add on it because you're more of into practice than I do. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I think the question is very direct. How are we controlling the quality after receiving? The procedure is different. Let's say you order cardamom, and you are finding that when you take cardamom from the tree, you have cardamom, and you have like a small stick which attached in the cardamom. In Swahili, we call it like kikonyo. So you may find that you have received cardamom with that thing. When you go and process it, the quality will be different from a person who use cardamom as cardamom without that thing. So what we are doing, it is we are processing it. It's like we are cleaning it again. We are testing if it is full dry or it is not dry. If it is not full dry, we dry it again. Because in grinding, when the spice is not drying, the final product won't be good. So what are we doing? It's like we are checking. We have different process of going through. For cardamom is different from ginger. But when you receive, because some farmers, they don't have equipment of doing, like I said, post-harvesting processing, maybe to dry them, to do what. So you may find maybe some raw material, they have stones. So you need to sort the stone and other stuff. So for a business person to avoid these challenges, as like DMK, we did a certain program with one of NGO. We went to farmers. We did training. We trained them on how they can handle their product after harvesting, how they can dry. After did that, we managed to receive not 100%, but at least 80% of raw material we are receiving. They are now of good quality. But when we started, it was like, but this time, I think we managed to go up to 80%. So it happened when those people whom you train them, when they don't have the raw materials, you can source to other people. That is where you find the problem rise again. But as for now, we are doing better. We are doing good. But when you receive them, you need first to settle them, to sort them, and to test. Are they full dry? If not dried, you need to dry again. Do they have anything which is not part of that raw material you ordered? If it is cardamom, need to be cardamom. If it is black pepper, need to be black pepper. So what are we doing? We do some checks. We do some checks before mix them, before grind them. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dominic. I would like then to invite Fatima to respond to the question from Stephen, who asked how has the first business managed how were you able to manage to export to UK, knowing the challenges of meeting food regulations? Fatma.
Okay, thank you. Before exporting, we passed through several trainings on quality assurance and quality control through International Trade Center for almost 2 years, and we practice those quality control on daily operations, and during exhibition, during several meetings. So we went there with our sample for our product, and so some of our customers took our product to UK, the other took our product to USA, and measure them and see still we are in a good quality. So they started to take some samples and some small quantities to UK. As days goes, they see still we are maintaining the quality, so they started to order the big quantity. And so we are using both aggregate. We are using both the agents and some of the other we sell them directly.
Thank you very much. She's saying that they undergo different quality assurance trainings, but they also work with both agents, and they sell directly to those countries. Another question in the chat is from Chilungu Kasongo, who is asking to share the challenges that are leading to production being unable to meet market demand. That is to Fatma. And to Dominic, it's great to learn that the awareness of spices is being raised on spice farming there in Tanzania. Unfortunately for us in Zambia, there is still need to raise awareness on youth and smallholder farmers' engagement in spice production. Do you care to share some awareness initiatives that are being implemented in your country? Maybe we too might need to replicate here in Zambia, because from all the presenters, spice farming is great business contributing to human health and income. Fatma, maybe you can talk a little bit on the challenges and that are leading to production being unable to be met, the production and the demand dynamics. Fatma? Okay, then now.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Most of challenges that we are facing that led us to fail to meet the market demand. First of all, the quantity available in Tanzania, still the quantity is low compared to the demand of the market. Example, we get a contract that you have to supply every month 10 tons of cardamom. And still here in Tanzania, most of farmers, they have 1 acre, half acre of cardamom, and 2 acres. So it's not easy to get that quantity every month. And the second one, it's about the quality. Still, during post-harvest control, the farmers, some of them they're drying the cardamom or the cinnamon on the ground. So on the issue of the export, they are too sensitive when it comes to quality. So that's also made us to fail to meet the market demand. And the other thing that it's differentiate of the quality, that due to that farmers have 1 acres, 2 acres, so the quality the quality of farmer 1 and the quality of farmer 2 is total difference. Why? The other one, they will harvest early before the season, and the other one they will harvest maybe cardamom during the harvest season. So these two, the quality will be different. And the other thing that made to fail to meet the market demand is the seasonality of the spices. That most of spices, they are seasonal. Example, during August to September to November, you can get there is a high season of clove, high season of ginger, but no cardamom, no black pepper. So there is no the permanent that every day you will get, every day or every month you will harvest the spices. Yes, thank you.
I would like to take a question from the room. Letabo, Letabo, please go ahead. Letabo, I see your hand. Please go ahead.
Not unmuting. Hi, how are you? To the team. I think on my side, my question is more on value addition, because we have a lot of small scale farmers, but I've noticed in Africa, we haven't been doing a lot of seed banks as much as we're supposed to. Then also in terms of practice in agriculture, we haven't been practicing a lot of agroecology. So you find a lot of fertilizers we've been using is not up to standard as we're supposed to in terms of our soil composition. Then our farmers as well, I think mostly in Africa, in terms of value addition, we haven't then also trained enough for us to actually have enough resources to then send or meet the quality of export. So I feel it's more of a contribution. I feel as us farmers, we need a lot on actually training them to meet the standards of the international standards. Because I've noticed, because I do a lot of facilitation in terms of your international trade, we haven't done a lot in terms of branding of the product, quality of packaging, hence why you find it's very hard to then meet the demand of the international market, because we're competing with people like Egypt, Morocco, UAE, China. So I think there has to be a high level of training on that regard. Secondly, in terms of value proposition as well for the market, the system makes it a bit tedious and difficult for people to then trade across, because they're not trained for originally. So we are supposed to first exhaust our local market, our regional market. Then after all these tests have been done, then maybe we can then export to the international market. Thank you so much.
Dr. Maleko, would you like to take that?
Yes. Thank you so much. Should I say Lethabo or whatever? What's the name? Thank you so much for sharing your insights about what we need to do. I agree with you. That is what we are supposed to do. Actually, when you come to spices farming, it's an individual initiative. And on the context of Tanzanians, we don't have like intensive farming or the medium scale farming of spices. Farmers are scattered everywhere. Everyone doing whatever they are doing on spices. So when you want to get the spices, you have to search around and find one farmer in Tanga, let's say Lushoto, another one in Muhedha. Then they are scattered. They are not well coordinated and integrated so that you can get them together and give them the capacity that you wish they would have to maintain the quality of the spices that you need. The most issue I think we need to do is, as part of us here in Tanzania and in the region, we need to know who is doing what in spices, then get them together, give them the required capacity building for the specific key part of the value chain they are doing. If it's a farmer, they need to know all those gap issues, because the quality of spices starts from the farm. You won't be having a quality spice at the drying point. It starts from the farming. What inputs they had? Did they have the true to type planting materials? Did they have proper seeds to grow for that specific spice that they are growing? And then from there, then you go to the next session. Let's say the primary processing, which is very crucial as well. We don't have farmers with those solar dryers to dry the spices to maintain their aromatic nature that they have. We don't have those small scale, like an industrial park that you can have, that you say this is an industrial park, and then you can have the farmers doing the spice processing. That today, let's say you give them routine. This week should be maybe the garlic processors. Next week, the black pepper processors, to avoid contamination of the spices within the industrial area. We don't have such kind of setups that helps the farmers or the processors to have their processing to maintain the quality of spices if we want to meet the standards that are set for the other international markets. And the other thing you just said is branding. Branding starts from farming as well. You need to know the soil types that you are growing the spices. You need to know the weather conditions. You need to do it all's up to geographical indication, because like for us, the cloves that we produce from Morogoro and the ones that we produce in Zanzibar, they are not the same. They have slightly difference. So those are the branding issues that you need to bring into the product. That this is clove from Morogoro, it's grown under these temperatures, this kind of soil, and blah, blah, blah. You keep it on. And then when it comes to packaging, spices, to keep its aromatic nature, it needs an airtight packaging material. Those airtight packaging materials are expensive. We only use these plastic materials. Then once you open them, you cannot airtight them again. Then at some point it loses, the aromatic nature of the spices that you have. So the packaging materials are expensive. But still, I think we have the African Continental Free Trade Area. We can start trading within the continent with what we have, while we go slowly, gradually, and graduate to go to the international markets. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Oh, thank you very much. Rugazia Nyombi, please. Rugazia Nyombi, please. You can unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you.
Who is speaking? Is it Rugazia or someone else?
Yes,
Rugazia.
it's Rugazia.
Okay, yes.
I would like to commend all the entrepreneurs who are engaged in this business. I know it's a very demanding activity. I would like to share my experiences also in the value chain analysis. In the spice value chain, we see that most of the entrepreneurs have been saying that production is a bit slow, and it's really true, because an analysis we did a few months ago, we observed that there are some farmers who still rely on very old planted trees to make their harvests, and they are actually not planting in new seeds, new trees, so that they can harvest in the future. So you can see the demand gap actually beginning from that end. If you keep depending on old trees in making supply constant, it's going to be a challenge. Now, a lot of efforts and a lot of energies needs to be introduced so that they can facilitate cultivation of new plants, cultivation of new trees. I see in Kilimanjaro, there have been initiatives where ginger is actually being spearheaded to be cultivated much more. But if you come to all other spices like cinnamon, it's actually lagging behind. So I think an intervention in that area needs to be done. But I think also if you look at the value chain itself, it has the potential of growing up much faster compared to other food value chains, because listening to the entrepreneurs, they are procuring directly from farmers. And I don't think if most of them have the hassles of collecting produce from middlemen. And from Tanzanian case, we know that middlemen they have been engaged largely in disrupting the supply chain, whether in terms of procurement, whether in terms of quality management, or even the supply hoarding. So with spice value chain, we can see that even if they are there, they can be managed unlike other food value chains. So it has the potential that if we create this strong link between the producer, the processor, and the final consumer, it has the prospects of benefiting directly the farmer and the processor. I also like to commend the inputs given by a colleague of mine who was stressing on issues to do with packaging. Packaging has been an issue. I know I did a survey where it was a mid-survey actually, where packaging, we were actually trying to explore where are they sourcing these packages. And for spices, it has been a challenge. As it has been informed, plastic sachets are actually being used more. So one of the initiatives which the government has been taking is to allow the importation of quality products, eco-friendly and renewable packaging units. Now the trouble is some of them have been expensive, but at least we can see that there have been some importation of these alternate packaging materials. Now it's only an initiative which needs to be taken to encourage the formation and establishment of other processing firms that establish the alternate packaging materials in the country. So if we do that, I believe the spice value chain has a great prospect of taking off and bringing in substantial beneficial outcomes to every value chain actor involved. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rugazia. I would like to, Blessings, I see your hand.
Blessings.
Mlelemba.
All right, thank you so much. I'm Blessing Meremba from Malawi. Frankly speaking, I'm a convent now. Actually, I'm very challenged in different dynamics. Firstly, my core work here is to train youth and farmers into different sustainable agricultural practices. So I trained over 2,800 farmers. And with this issue about value addition in line with spice, I'm very, very eager to know a lot of things. Okay, of course, I have a lot of questions, but I only need to be cleared on two things. The first thing is matter of production percent per given acre, because as an entrepreneur, I believe in quantitative of the production. So let's say a farmer is having an acre of a certain spice, let's say ginger. How much are we expecting in terms of tonnage and also profitability? Because from all three presenters, I've learned that they're talking of profitability. Yeah. So how is this line of business profitable in terms of dollars. Yes. And also the last question is, we have a great challenge, especially here. I don't know why, in terms of exporting. How can we leverage the available market with us? Because I can challenge that currently I'm going to be working with over 45 cooperatives, youths, whom I'll be training different crops. And if there will be possibility of this spice line, we can divert to other productions in line with the spices, which can be sold out through the linkages that we are talking about. So how can we leverage cross-border market on this issue that we are talking about? So I think those are my two concerns and questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Blessings. Dr. Maleko, please go ahead to respond to that.
Yes, he has a nation production matters. Actually, this is what I was just saying, that spices production here is not that intensive. You cannot, I'm not that able to quantify the acreage production of spices here in Tanzania. Maybe we can do for the clove, but for other spices, you find it's a small holder thing. It's something that people does out of interest and passion. That's why we are unable to meet demand of the spices that are required in the market, because everyone is producing small quantities. And majority of these spices are not solely produced. They are intercropped with other crops. You find someone with cardamom maybe in the farmyard, they have bananas and coffee trees in it. Then you find them with 10 or 5 or 20 stems of cardamom. And then the production has, what we've seen people are doing a lot now is for the vanilla, which I saw a one.
We seem to have lost you.
Yeah, sure. I think we've lost it.
We seem to have lost you. Dominic, maybe you can respond to this question if you are still in the room.
The processors do, aggregation. I think this one, like Fatma and Dominic can share, they buy for the quantity of let's say, many to get tons or whatever the amount they buy, it can reflect how much is being. But for the importation, the part of importation you just mentioned is, for us, we have the Continental Free Trade Area. So if you want to buy spices, let's say from Tanzania, then when you follow the procedures, the tariffs that are involved within the EAC, SADC, or the continental trade. And then you give us, or you talk to your client on quantities that you want, the standards that you want, to avoid those non-tariff barriers issues when it comes to exportation of products that you say maybe you want clove. And you can set out the standards that you want, negotiate the tariffs that will be involved according to the region within the continent, and then you can start the trading within that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dominic, I think Dominic would be the last one. Then we'll invite you, Dr. Maleko, to give the ecosystem
Finish
analysis.
the presentation. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Despite the fact there were communication breakdown, but I managed to get some things. There are one of the question you directed to me, but you forgotten to come back to me for a response. There's a person who he once asked about the issue of awareness, how we managed to raise our awareness. I think he was a person from Zambia. I can just say a little bit concerning that. We use exhibition as the important point of raising awareness to the community. So when we are going to the exhibition, it is not the issue of selling, but it's the issue of educating. So wherever, like Tanzania, we have Sabasaba and Nane Nane, but we have some small exhibitions. So when you attend there, we are not focusing on selling only, but we focus on giving education to the community. But also other things which promote farmers to come back to the line of farming these spices. It is the price. You know, the price is going very high and very fast. So the pricing gap is convincing farmers to jump into spices farming. And also, since after COVID, most of people, they were into healthy stuff. They were into spices after COVID, because even here, there are great promotion of using ginger, of using what. So since after COVID, awareness rise for itself. Like most of people, they train themselves to use ginger and concoction. They add garlic, ginger, onion. So from there, people, they started knowing that these things, like doctors say, that like antioxidant and other stuff. But also involvement of youth. You know, youth are in a larger number. So most when youth involved in something, even other people, they open their eyes. But also the issue of packaging, as doctor was saying, that like as we are sourcing our product, our packaging container in a local from local industries. So like ourselves, we once tried to import packaging from outside, but we failed to compete in the market because the price goes higher, and the competition in the market, local market, it is still just there. The price is there. So when you increase the price, I think it will take you away from the game. But maybe for external or from international market, it will be fine. Yeah, just like that. I lost some of the points from the connection from the internet point of view. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Those responses and clarification. Now I would like to call Dr. Anasia Maleko to share with us the ecosystem, the current ecosystem in terms of the spice industry, and then we'll close the webinar. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, then in the following slides, I'll just share this women participation on in spices. Majority of the spices here in Tanzania are being produced by women. Women dominate the industry for the spices, and they take like 60 to 70% of the workforce in the cloves, vanilla, and ginger. And then they make they don't only produce, they also do the processing. And majority of these women doing the processing of spices, they don't do it into industrial base. They use their, kitchen gadgets, the blenders and whatever to grind the spices and then pack them into whatever the packaging material they have and sell them to the market. So they contribute a lot in the spice processing and in the harvesting. Most of the spices are being produced by women, and the few that who are doing medium scale, they prefer women in harvesting because I think women are so keen in doing these small activities compared to men. And for Zanzibar, women contribute at least 50% in the labor force for the clove farms. And among them, very few women own the clove farms. To Tanzanian mainland, they do a lot of in vanilla and ginger, and they contribute at least 65% on the workforce for the spices, the vanilla and ginger. In economic-wise, the industry, supports about 40% of Tanzanian spices that are being exported. The volume of the export is about 20 to 55% less compared to men. And women also do the majority of processing, as I just said, and they do it in their home using their kitchen gadgets, machines, and packaging. And there are some specific challenges that are being facing by women in the spices industry because, women actually, the more challenging issue is the credit because women, they operate in an informal industry. When you're doing business informally, it's very difficult to be known in a formal credit setup. If you go to the bank, it's very difficult to get loan if you are not formally registered. So the initiatives that we are doing here, we are trying to create awareness for the women to at least register their business. At least they should register business names. And then later on, when they grow, they can register the companies as the business, flourish. Other issues that are being challenging to women is women businesses, they are, mainly for domestic. They don't, sometimes women shy out to go and explore some places. So they just dominate the domestic market, which is less profitable when you compare with other markets in the region or in the international arena. Then owning business to women is difficult as well because they don't have the land for. This is more of cultural norms that women, they don't own land. But these days, women can own land. They can buy their own land and do whatever they want to do with the land they own. And I've just said that they have limited capital. When you are informal, it's very difficult to, to think of, oh, I need, proper seeds. I need a certain equipment. I need to expand my business. But when you are formally registered, it's easier to, to demonstrate your business, to show someone your business, and then they can get credit on you and give you, ideas on how you can expand your business. The other thing I find in women is that they don't get in, the market information. They don't get right information. Women, they do things at their own, solely that like I am Anasia, I'm interested in garlic. Then I will do my processing garlic at my own home. I won't associate with anyone else. It's my thing. And then you miss out the market information, you miss out the network, you miss out what is in the other areas, what other people are doing. So they need that exposure, they need that integration with other people to get the right information and then compare the prices and they can even start, to export their products to other markets instead of depending on the domestic market that we have. And then I have this one when the youth participation. Tanzania has a growing population of youth. Among the 60 millions of the people we have in Tanzania, 50% are youth. And we found that the spices industry present a very good opportunity for youth to participate and earn some income and solve the problems of unemployment that we have when they do the entrepreneurial activities in the spices, like, processing, the growing of these production of these products, the spices. They can do the herbs as well, like minty, basil, rosemary, coriander, and sage. We have growing industries of tourism here in Tanzania, and these herbs are used in 5-star hotel, 4-star hotel. You won't miss any of these herbs in those hotels. Also, they can do youth, they have an ability to use the electronic or digital world to do the marketing of spices, and they can earn more compared to women when they do this marketing they can use Instagram, WhatsApp, Jumia, and make a platform where they can sell the spices. When they concentrate on this area, they can do more business compared to when they say that they can produce because we have an issue of saying that they don't own land, they don't have their own land. But when they venture on this part of the, processing, the primary processing, they can start their own processing, stations, like have the solar processing area, then where people can come and, dry the spices in their locality and pay some rent. Or they can start those platforms and charge a little bit for the people who are placing their products in the platform and charge them a small fee. Challenges of youth, as I've said, they don't own land, but still they have an opportunity to undergo those other processes of the value chain: aggregation, storage, processing, value addition, doing the platforms to sell the products. Then it's easier for them to be trained. They do have limited knowledge on these issues, but it's easier for youth to those who are willing, they can be trained and undertake the issues of spices and maintain the quality. Also, they can have some few projects like registering their businesses. They can be trusted by the bank. They are easy to use digital and mitigate the issues of climate. They can understand where the issues like floods, droughts, is easier to, for a youth to mitigate and avoid such risk compared to, women's and elderly who are in the industry. Then we have issues that we use the old trees. They can even venture into nursery beds and sell the planting materials, because we have old trees for black pepper, old trees for cloves. Those are need to be replaced so that we can, we can produce more and maximize yields. And I was mixing the challenges and the recommendations. We don't have actually policies or strategies that are specific for spices. So we are trying to influence the government to come up with specific, maybe the guideline or the strategies that will guide the spice industry to to make it grow, to create more awareness, what is in the spices industry, what can people do on the spices industry, so that they can explore the opportunities and earn some income and contribute to the economic development of Tanzania. For the financial institutions, we are trying to see how they can, to have a tailor-made, financial products with low interests that can be interesting for youth and women, and then they can be accessed. Because you can have low interest, but the bureaucracy to access the loans being difficult. So it should be something tailor-made to youth and women, and then it can be accessed. Then the capacity building. Capacity building is very important. The capacity building should be on all the, the process of the value chain node, from the production where you have the inputs, you have the equipment, you have the, the fertilizers, the herbicides, the pesticides. They need to know what the necessary capacities that are needed in the production, processing, aggregation, drying, until to the point of consumption at the table to protect, this, we should know the consumer health and safety issues. And these, they start from the production point of view. Then the market leakages, they are very important. They need to know how to create networks, how to connect, where to export. They need to form, strong groups, farmers groups, youth groups, and even they can make, cooperatives that they can help them to gain bargaining power on how to sell their products in other markets, or within even when they are selling to the, middlemen. When you sell and the individual is different when you sell in a cooperative. Also, we are looking for the government to invest more on research and development to create a database that are reliable, so that people can know, when you talk about the spices, what quantity is being produced, what quantities can be produced in a certain environment, in an acre. Those standards that are need for the spices are still missing. It's very difficult to get, such statistics for specific spices, except for the clove, which has been widely being produced, and it has a setup in Zanzibar. They have an institution that is mainly for clove regulation. Other spices, they are not. So we need something like that to regulate this industry. The government also is doing some activities, some initiatives to make the industry goals. We have the agriculture sector development program. It was, we had the first phase finished, the second phase, and it has been reviewed, and there is a support on extension services to train about GAP, but certification of GAP is still limited. Irrigation also schemes are being subsidized, but they are not that all over the country. They are still limited. TanTrade does the, regulation and organizes of the trade fairs in the country, the Sabasaba, the Nane Nane, the Juakali. But still, spices industry awareness is it's growing, but gradually. Though there is a fast demand on such products in the continent and in the world market. We have for those who are conducting their businesses informally, we have the small industry development organization, SIDO. SIDO does support spices processing with technology, machinery, business training, and also they work together with Tanzania Bureau of Standards. So when you qualify from SIDO, it's easier to get the standard mark on your product when you qualify and then get certification from SIDO. So we also creating an awareness for these processors to get linked to SIDO, get trained, and then get inspected on their processing area so that they can get certified and get the standard mark from TBS to export their products. There have been also projects like USAID, UNIDO, and EU focusing on the spices, quality, and exports. So these initiatives are there and they support more of organic certification to spices. Other government issues have included in Zanzibar, they had the Wekeza project, which was more into supporting spices industry to reduce, to increase women's, income in the clove farming, because they are the one who are earning very low. Taha is doing a lot on the horticulture. As you can recall, the horticulture spices is part of horticulture industry, and we have this Tanzania Horticulture Association. They are doing a lot. They do studies, they have trained the people, and they do also gap certification. So we are trying to get more youth, get more women, integrated to their programs so that we can get more people qualifying to the quality and standards that are needed in the market. And then we have Tanzania Women Chamber of Commerce. They expose women, they get women to be exposed to other markets. They do arrange, exposure, going to China to explore markets. They also participate in trade fairs that they are manageable within their reach. Women get to go there, and they have also introduced a window for youth. The Tanzania Women Chamber of Commerce, they have a youth cluster in them. So if you join them, it's easier to get exposed and get the network where you can do your spices. Then on this slide, I had this the demand for spices in the global market. We know that we have the growing food industry, especially in Asia, Europe, North America. For the health and wellness trends, spices like turmeric, cinnamon, ginger are sought after of their medicinal properties. We have these ethnic cuisines like India, Middle East, African dishes requires spices like cardamom, clove, and black pepper. Natural food preservation also to replace synthetic additives. You can, on this table, I had a spice and where the key uses are like clove, you can use it as medicinal, food flavoring, and the major importers for cloves are India, Indonesia, UAE, USA. Vanilla also is a food cosmetics and is also used in beverages. It's required in US, France, Germany, and Canada. Cardamom, cooking, and then it's used to Ayurveda and perfumes. Saudi Arabia, India is a good market. Cinnamon is used in baking, healthy supplements. They are required in Europe, USA, Middle East. And then you have black pepper, mostly used for food seasoning and preservatives. USA, Vietnam, and the EU, China, they also require such kind of spices. For the opportunities in Africa and their export destinations and their tariffs also are indicated on this table. Like if you have clove, black pepper, and cinnamon, you can sell it to Kenya, and then you can use the tariff structure that we have, the EAC. And then the common tariff, that the common external tariff that we have. So if you're a youth and you are interested to venture into this spices industry, if you concentrate on these spices and their tariffs, it's easier for you to explore the market and benefit from these markets. For the Tanzanian trading to Kenya, they are not subjected to any tariffs because they can use the EAC and the common external tariff. If you trade it to South Africa, vanilla, ginger, and cardamom, you will use the SADC agreement, where you have 0 to 10% depending on the spice. Then you need to require the standards that are there and the tariffs that are there for the specific spice that you want to trade. For the clove and black pepper, you can trade it to Egypt, and then you can see the most favored nation tariff, which is 5 to 30%. You can also use the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA. For the Nigeria, you use the ECOWAS, which is 5 to 20%. For the cinnamon vanilla, you can use the Continental Free Trade Area, which is 10 to 25%, but you need to know specific standards and the qualities from those countries. For Uganda and Rwanda, you can still use the EAC and the ginger and clove. For the Congo is 0 to 10. I'm trying to be quick so that I can finish with the time. Then we have issues that under the Continental Free Trade Area and EAC, the regional RACs that we have, communities, we are trying to, to have initiatives that they can support informal cross-border trade to be informal while they are still trading. We have border desk operations that if you are trying to do the cross-border trade and you face a problem, you consult them. They help you on how to navigate on your problem that you've had on the border, and then they can assist you to sell your product or to export your product where you're going. We have some initiatives done by Trademark Africa, which was TIMEA, the Trademark East Africa, the cross-border trade. We have the OSBP, one single border stop, that you find all the facilities in a same area. If you go to the borders like Tunduma, Mtukula, Taveta, you will get assisted there. They'll help you with the challenges. We know we have challenges of NTBs, but once you use the border desk, they help you to mitigate across the NTBs. We have the Continental Free Trade Area also, they have initiated a platform where you can launch the NTBs. If you find any NTBs when you want to trade, you can launch your NTBs and monitor the NTBs until when it is resolved. And then we have these, we have simplified trade regimes that is also there to help you when you are doing the cross-border trade. We have, we are now looking on a way we can create the value chain clusters, like have the people who are doing cinnamon, spices, cluster of spices together, and then help them with how they can do the market along the continent before they try to go beyond the borders, like, do the geographical area facilitation, support development of specific spices, integrate them to other interlinked, and create a pool of, a pull and push harmony for a certain spice. We are looking forward also to have an information sharing platforms. The information will make you to make a proper decision. So we need, if you have the proper information, you make a right decision, and it's easier to get the right market when you have the right information. Then doing the capacity building, as we just said, on all the value chain node. And then we thought of industrial park can help, development of the industry, do those branding using the geographical indication, collective value addition together to maintain quality, doing the warehousing, transporting. When you have an industrial park, it will help us to do all these things together. And then I've already talked about the simplified trade regime that is within the regional RACs, that there is a certain amount of trading volumes that when you use them across the border, you won't be subjected to any taxes. Then you use the regional RACs like the EAC, the SADC, the ECOWAS, to facilitate your trading. And that is all I have. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maleko, for the wonderful presentation and the wonderful insights. To close, I would like to invite Mr. Kuda to close the meeting. Kuda Kwache to close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that attended this webinar. Thank you, Dr. Maleko and your team. Thank you, Rachel, as well, for the good facilitation. I think this has been so insightful for everyone, one of us. And I think for the spice industry, it's an easy business for the youth. You don't need to go to the field. As I was just listening to this presentation, you can be an aggregator. You can contract, aggregate, process, then you go to the market. So my last words is once you get an idea, go for it, reap whatever that you have sown so that you make a successful business. And I take this opportunity to invite the team that have attended today, bring more youths as we continue to identify opportunities. In our next webinar, we'll be having an expert. We've made a lot of money with the provision of services in terms of tillage, planting, and also giving some spraying services to the smallholder farmers. But otherwise, thank you very much. I hand over to you, Rachel.
Thank you very much. I wanted you to close and call it a day.
Okay, thank you so much.
Before you close, I've shared my contact number. I'm sharing my email as well. I was trying to get the document here, but I can't. So whoever needs the presentation, they can contact me from my number. It's my permanent number. It has on WhatsApp, and then you can use the email. I'll share the slides presentation.
Thank you. You can also share with us, and then we'll share.
Yes, I will share with you, Rachel and Kuda, so that you can, broadly share to our network.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye-bye.